Hey guys, so tonight I'm going to film the Q&A video that I was asking for questions for the last couple of videos, and I'm really excited about it, so I figured I would just go ahead and kind of jump into it. I'm going to be using a bunch of random makeup. A bunch of this stuff is stuff that I was loving, and then new stuff came out and I just kind of put away, and I want to try out again. I was loving this Ilia Super Serum Skin Tint, so I want to try this again. I haven't gotten much use out of this Makeup Forever Matte Velvet Concealer, so we're just going to kind of play around with all of this while I answer your questions. And I'm going to start off by using the Makeup Forever Step 1 Mattifying Primer because I know that is a very, very luminous foundation. Okay, now that I have my primer on and I can actually focus on what I'm doing. Actually, that's a lie. I really can't focus at all. I feel like I cannot do makeup and talk to save my life. And this is definitely my darker shade, which is probably gonna look a little bit crazy today, but since it's such light coverage, I don't think it really matters. But anyways, so first question is, how long have you been collecting makeup? And I think, I don't know, there's two different answers that I could give. When I was 15, 16, I got pretty into it. I thought it was cool. I wore makeup every day to high school. I kind of would collect my mom's hand-me-down makeup, and we went to the Mall of America every year. So I would save up some money for that, and we would go into the big Sephora there, and I would get stuff. And so I've always been really into makeup and just kind of playing around with it. But I didn't start collecting it like I do now until just a couple of years ago after I had Parker. For a while after he was born, I think my next video that's coming out is going to be his labor and delivery story, or I guess my labor and his delivery story. So I will get a little bit more into that, but he ended up being in the NICU. So I did not have time to even glance at a piece of makeup. That was just the absolute last thing on my mind. But at the same time, being in the NICU with a newborn baby, there's only so much that you can do. I brought my iPad, I had my phone, and taking care of him, but a newborn baby sleeps all the time. So yeah, while I was there with him, I started watching a lot of beauty tutorials and stuff on YouTube, and I had never really watched any kind of YouTube before, and I always talked crap to Parker's dad because he was always on YouTube. Whatever his thing at the moment was, if he was really into airsoft, he would constantly be watching airsoft videos, and I was like, what the heck, what is so cool about this freaking app? So finally got into it, started watching videos, and just kind of, I don't know, in the beginning, I just kind of took people's word for it, and if I saw a bunch of big beauty gurus talking about something like this Laura Mercier translucent setting powder, I was just kind of screw it, let's go get one. And whatever extra money I had, which was basically nothing, because another little clue, being in the NICU all the time, you're eating fast food, you are driving back and forth, home, shower, sleep for a couple of hours, back to the hospital. You don't have a bunch of extra money during that time, let me tell you. But my parents are amazing, and they helped out so much, and they kind of knew that I was going through it, if you want to put it like that, and it was just a really, really tough time for me. So my mom would surprise me with little things from Ulta and Sephora, and I think that's when I really started collecting it. And yeah, so two different answers there, but it's been a little bit now. Okay, so now that I have my under eyes set and everything, the next question is, what is your personality type from the 16 personality quiz? And I have no idea. I actually meant to look it up before I filmed this video, but I just read it, and guess what I have not done? So I have no idea, but if that's something y'all are interested in, definitely let me know, and maybe I can take it and film a little video of it or something. I don't know. But that is one that I have never heard of. I've heard of oh god, I don't even know what it's called. Yeah, the name is totally slipping my mind. But I've heard of a bunch of different quizzes like that, but I haven't heard of that one. So I'm curious about it, and I will definitely end up taking it. So that was a pretty easy answer since I failed at that question. But the next question is, do you ever do anyone else's makeup? And I have done my mom's makeup, you know, like for little things here and there. I did it for her company Christmas party last year, and I loved it. It was so pretty, and she looked gorgeous. My dad was like, oh my god, you look like, my parents are so cute. Today it was their 32nd anniversary of being married and their 37th year of being together. So they are like basically the cutest things ever, and like love each other so much. It's basically the sweetest thing. And I made like a little Instagram post saying happy anniversary, and I was just saying how happy I am that Parker has like their relationship to like look up to and like know what love like should be like. And I mean, I was so lucky my whole life growing up and knowing that's what it should be like. So I don't know, I'm very grateful for that, but that's not even the question. Yeah, I have done my mom's makeup, but like no one else's. I did my friends like in high school a couple of times, but nothing, not professional, but like nothing like where I would get paid or anything. And I honestly don't think that I ever could, because I would be so like anxiety ridden, and like I don't think that I could actually do it. I think I would freak out and panic, and like if I was trying to do a wing liner or something, I would just have like the shakiest hand, and I don't know. I would definitely need to do a lot of practicing on people that know and love me, because I would want their like legit opinion on whether it looked like total and complete trash or not. So I just used a tiny bit of my Oma Beauty contour bronzer stick thing, and I mean, y'all saw like how much I put on it. A tiny bit of that stuff goes so far, but I love like the just like hint of bronziness it gives me now that I am so fair. But I think I'm going to throw some brows on real quick, and then I will be right back for some more questions. So I was just like all up close and personal doing my eyebrows, and this whole combination of the Ilia skin tint with the Makeup Forever with the Laura Mercier translucent powder is actually looking really pretty. It's like not too matte, but it's also not dewy because I did set it, but I'm a fan. And of course the air comes on as soon as I come back. But of course I'm gonna go in with my Raw Beauty Christie palette, and I'm just gonna do a really simple eye while I answer a few more questions. So the next one is, do you see yourself getting into a relationship anytime soon, and do you want more kids? And this is actually a question that I got more than once. And, well, I got the relationship question more than once, and I got the do you want more kids question more than once. So I don't even know how to go about answering it. I ideally would like to have probably one more kid, maybe two. I'm an only child, so I would like for Parker to have siblings, but at the same time with that comes the whole like half sibling thing, which I mean can be completely and totally fine and never a problem, or it can be like his dad's family and not go so great. So I guess his dad always felt like he was like the oddball out because he wasn't his stepdad's biological kid, and you know, all of that stuff. So I would love to have a couple more kids. I think definitely one more kid, but it would have to be with the right person who I knew would make sure, you know, Parker knew he was just as loved as any other kid that we would ever have. You know, like I would never want to make him feel like we were, you know, trying to have a kid not to replace him, but hopefully you know what I'm trying to say. I think I would want him to be old enough to understand that this is like an addition, not a replacement, and it would have to be with someone who, you know, loved him. I'm not gonna say as much as I do because I'm not sure if that will ever be possible, but it would have to be with someone who really, you know, showed me that Parker is a huge priority in his life and that he would never make him feel any kind of way after we had another kid. So I guess that kind of brings me to the whole do you see yourself getting into a relationship anytime soon? And to be honest with you, that is the last thing on my mind right now. I know plenty of people who get divorced. We weren't married, but break up, get divorced, whatever, and they're in a new relationship in a year and super happy and healed and ready and all of that stuff. And that has not been me, and I don't want to even think about getting into any kind of relationship until I know that like I love myself enough to be in that relationship. And I think my last relationship took a lot out of me and really kind of tested all of my mental capacities, if that's even how I want to say it. But I don't know if that makes any sense. Right now I'm happy with Parker and myself, and I'm happy focusing on Parker. I'm happy putting all of my attention on Parker. I'm happy being here with Parker. I'm happy not having to try to like divide my time between anyone else. I know that if I did get into a new relationship, it would be a long while before they even met Parker. So that would mean whatever time I was spending with them would be away from Parker. And I don't know, I'm just not really ready or looking for that right now. So for the time being, that is a no. And the next question is, what is your everyday life like? And then the question after that kind of goes along with it. And it is, would you ever film us a daily life vlog? And I would love to hear y'all's opinion on that, because I totally would if that is something that y'all would like to see. But let me go ahead and warn you that it is going to be the most boring day that you have ever watched, and it'll probably be like a 5-minute vlog, because especially these days we are not doing much of anything at all other than going to my parents, going to the park, going on little walks, the normal kind of try to get out of the house things. But yeah, definitely let me know if y'all would want to see that, because I think it actually would be pretty fun to film. To answer that first question, my everyday life right now is waking up, and usually Parker wakes up around 6 or 7 and wants to come get into bed with me. So I have no problem with that right now. And I let him climb up and we snuggle and fall back asleep for a couple of hours. He's a really awesome kid, and he's kind of a night owl like I am. He's never been good at going to sleep even like remotely early. So he's usually not asleep until 9:30, 10, and usually he will sleep until about 9:30 or 10, unless like, we're at a hotel or something is different. So usually wake up around 9:30 or 10, and this is gonna sound awful, but I'm not a breakfast person, and Parker is like a very small breakfast person. Every now and then I'll make breakfast, every now and then we'll go get some breakfast, but usually we have like breakfast bars or muffins or like French toast sticks or just something easy to throw in the toaster or the oven or whatever and make. And then after that, we have gotten into this really bad habit now that, well, we got into this habit kind of because of quarantine, because we haven't had anything to do. But now we actually crawl back into bed and we watch either a couple of his little TV shows on our iPad, or we'll watch like a little movie that he's interested in that day. And most of the times I try to get the TV shows to be like Blippi or something like that, just so it's like a little bit educational. But come on, he's 2, he's doing everything he's supposed to. I'm okay with him watching a couple of TV shows. So, and I want them to be a little more educational, because when we do watch movies, it's like The Incredibles or Sing or whatever. Those are his 2 favorites right now. So those are definitely not the most educational, but it's a fun thing for us to do. He's not going to want to do it for much longer. I love the little snuggle time that I get with him. Sometimes we'll make some popcorn, bring that, have a little snack if it's like getting to be on the later side. It's just like the sweetest part of my day, like just him sitting there snuggling with me, because it does not happen. Once he is like ready to get out of that spot, like he's out and he's ready to run and jump and be off the walls. Like y'all have seen little snippets of Parker, so like he can be crazy. So yeah, that is the sweetest, most calm part of our day by far. I'm gonna take this Rowan Disco Eye Universal shade and pop that just kind of like right on the inner corners of my eyes. now that I have a little bit of that on, I'm going to try to do a little bit of liner while I keep answering this question. I'm not sure if that's going to happen, so if it's too hard, I will just stop and come back when it's done and finish answering it. So after that, we will do... Why do I talk every single time that I have to shake something up? But whenever Parker is ready to get up and get our day started, we usually get some lunch, and that would be... Okay, yeah, this is not going to happen. I'm going to throw some liner and mascara on, and then I'll be right back to finish up this question and answer a couple more. I'm taking way longer to answer these than I thought I would, so we might need a part 2, but we'll see how far I get. I'll be right back. Okay, we are back with some mascara on because that was going to take me entirely too long to do while I was talking. It takes me too long to do while I'm not talking. So I'm going to go ahead and finish answering this question because it's taking me way too long. And then we'll get on to the rest of my face and a couple more questions. So yeah, we snuggle in the morning and the air comes on at the most amazing times, as always. Then usually we will go somewhere for lunch. I know it's not the best. I'm not the best mom, I'm not gonna lie. I get my kid fast food, I let him watch TV. It is what it is. But if we don't go out, I make him like a PB&J, turkey and cheese, apple slices, whatever. If we go out, we'll get like Chick-fil-A and eat it going like to the park or whatever. Sometimes we'll have a little picnic when we go to like the playground and stuff. We'll do that for like the afternoon, and then if he's gonna take a nap, he has got to go to sleep by like 3:34 because he's got to wake up before 6, or he is a monster to get to sleep at night. So we either take a nap, or sometimes he just doesn't. He will kind of sit with me for a little while just to kind of chill out and get a little bit of a break in, but he's pretty much going until he's ready to either take a nap or not. And then after we wake up from our nap, which I will totally admit I usually take with him unless I'm too like excited to play Animal Crossing while he sleeps. And then we usually go to either my parents' house or his other grandparents' house. It's my parents' house probably 90% of the time, and my mom will make dinner, or sometimes we get a pizza, whatever. We hang out there, we play games, we talk about our days, we do whatever. That's kind of the only thing that's like our big like outing of the day, since we can't really go anywhere that we would usually go and just like chill. So we go over there, hang out. We actually do not have a bathtub in this house. We have 2 stand-up showers, so it just does not work. When he was smaller, it was fine. I had one of those sink tubs, and honestly, he took a bath in that until he was like 1.5 because we didn't have a tub, and I was like, well, I'm not sure. Then we thought about putting a tub in. This has nothing to do with my daily routine, but putting a tub in was going to be a little bit more expensive than I thought it was going to be. So I think we're gonna do that once he's like 4 or 5 and like really wants to like take his own, like not take his own, but like start doing more himself. Is that when kids start doing that? I have no idea, honestly. But we take a bath over at my parents' house, and yeah, I give him his bath over there, get him his PJs. After we eat dinner and everything, we come back home. Well, we eat dinner and then do bath and everything, come back home. If it's been a really long day and he hasn't had a nap, every now and then he'll fall asleep in the car, but usually he wants to come home, have a little sweet snack, and then we brush our teeth again, and then we get in bed and start it all over again. So I do still lay down with him at night, and I don't need anyone telling me to not, because I don't care. I know everyone is so different in the way they parent, and I completely respect it. I know at some point I will probably not want to lay down with him every night, but right now I'm totally good with it. So okay, so the next question is, how many tattoos do you have and what are they? While I'm answering that, I'm going to go in with my Charlotte Tilbury airbrush bronzer, and I have a bunch of tattoos. I have never really kept track of how many. I got my first tattoo when I was 16, and actually that's not true. I got my first tattoo when I was 14 with a safety pin and Indian ink. I would not suggest it. My best friend and I gave each other tattoos. It was a very, very stupid decision. I got a music note on my ass, and she had me write like a cursive L with a heart on her ass. Yeah, they were really, really bad. So when I was 16, my mom let me, or like gave me permission to get it covered up in a shop instead of having that awful thing on my ass. And I got it covered up with a lotus flower, which I then got obsessed with getting tattooed, and that was the only place that my parents would let me get tattooed at the time because, you know, like nobody was seeing my ass. So, well, that they knew. But anyways, I'm gonna go in with a little bit of gold dust bronzer on top. So I kept just adding and adding and adding and adding onto that one. I got a koi fish with the lotus flower. I have some cherry blossoms around it. I absolutely hate it. The shop I got it at is trash. This is when I knew nothing about getting tattoos. Even my parents didn't know anything about it. Now my dad has quite a few, actually, now that I'm thinking about it. But yeah, so I did not know how crappy this shop was, but they gave me tattoos and I wasn't 18, so I thought they were awesome. But after turning 18, I realized, oh wow, that is not how a shop is supposed to be run. That is not how a shop is supposed to run. Whatever. And I got a quote down my back saying, "If you wish to be loved, love," in Latin. And then I got, no, actually another tattoo that I got right before I turned 18 is on my foot, and it was at the really crappy tattoo shop. It is "Love is patient, love is kind, it does not envy, it does not boast, it is not proud." It's from my parents' wedding vows, but it's from 1 Corinthians 13, I believe. And yeah, so I got my ass tattoo and my foot tattoo at the really crappy shop. And then when I turned 18, I got the really nice one down my back and this cross on my wrist, which is like a replica of a cross necklace that my uncle who passed away used to wear. I have Parker's birthday in Roman numeral on my collarbone, kind of. His dad and I actually got this together. And on this side somewhere I have my bird. My mom absolutely loves birds, and I thought it was really cute. I don't really have like huge meanings for all of my tattoos. I have my grandma's name in cursive across my ribs. I have a quote in like typewriter kind of ink on my thigh saying rock bottom became the solid foundation on which I rebuilt my life. I got that when I got clean. And what else do I have? I also have a little bee behind my ear. I got that with my mom. And then I have molecules right here on my arm, which I got them for a reason at the time, which I no longer care about. So I'm thinking about turning this into a kind of like realistic beehive graphic sort of thing. I really want to get that sometime this year, so hopefully I will be showing y'all a new tattoo soon. But I'm trying to think if I have any others. I have one on my toe on the opposite foot from the one I have the verse on, which is just a like vine of flowers on my toe. I have a bunch of really random tattoos. So yeah, for the next question, it is, where do you work? And I guess I really haven't ever talked about that. I'm going to use my Charlotte Tilbury Pillow Talk Lip and Cheek Glow in Color of Dreams on my cheeks. I'm going to take the butt of my sponge in for that. And yeah, so for where do you work? I work at a high school, but technically I work for the college admission board. It's a little bit difficult to explain if you don't have kids. Well, I guess it's not because you had to do it. If y'all know the SAT and the ACT test that high school kids have to take before, you know, applying to college and all of that good stuff, I work for the company who gives that test, basically. And I do a lot of really random things. I help people who are giving the test. I help students who might have, like, who registered but didn't put the correct information in. Just like a bunch of different random things, but it's a really good job for me at this point in my life because it is super part-time. It's only on the weekends. It actually shut down for the past however many months, since March was the last time that I worked before this past weekend. But I completely lost my train of thought there. But yeah, it's really good for me right now because I have parents and everyone around me is working full-time during the week, so I can't really, it would cost me more to put Parker into daycare than I would earn at any kind of job around here right now. So for me, it's perfect because it's on the weekends. It's when my parents or his other grandparents can watch him, and, you know, it gives me a little bit of extra money, but it, you know, it doesn't take away too much time from him, which I'm very happy about. I was planning on putting him in preschool. This was another question, actually. I was planning on putting him in, not preschool, but like a preschool program. Well, he would have been in it by now if everything hadn't have happened. It was going to be like a mommy's morning out kind of thing where I think it was only 2 days a week for 3 hours, and I was just going to kind of drop him off and just let him get some like activity with other kids, because unless it's like the little girls that live down the street and they're outside playing when he's outside playing, which is awesome and I love, you know, he's just not around very many kids. So this is my highlight ambient strobe powder, whatever, from Hourglass, and I'm gonna put that in my inner corners, and I just put it on my cheeks. And now I'm going to go in with my Fenty, I think it's their Stunna lip paints in Uncuffed, but yeah, I don't even know where I was really going with that. I think instead, since little gyms are starting to open up around us, we're going to get him in some kind of gymnastic something class, because he is climbing and flipping and doing somersaults and doing all of this stuff that I can't even do. And I'm like, all right, like, okay, kid. And then we actually drove by one tonight, and we were sitting at a stoplight, so he was looking out the window, and he was like, Mama, like, Parker, play, like, pointing in to the kids, like, tumbling. So I was like, okay, I'm like signing you up this weekend. So I think after I work this coming weekend, Saturday, I'm gonna go sign him up for something there next week. And I'm so excited for him to just get some kind of time with other kids. I think he is really going to enjoy it. Okay, I'm going to throw this on real quick. I feel like if I remember correctly, I haven't used these in a while. Yeah, okay, this little brush is so easy to use. You really don't even need like a lip liner. I absolutely love this shade because I feel like it's like a really good neutral shade, but it's deep enough where it makes your teeth look a little bit whiter, and I always love a lipstick that does that. And once this really dries down, I'm going to throw on some of the ABH Peachy lip gloss. But I think I'm going to answer one more question in this video, and I think I might have to do just like a part 2 if y'all want to know the answers to the rest of these questions. So definitely let me know down below if you do. I had a lot of fun filming this, so I would love to do it. I'm going to answer these 2. First one is, do you wear makeup every day? And that is absolutely not. No, if I wear anything, most days I put on like a BB cream, maybe some concealer, mascara, some brow gel, like super, super minimal. Sometimes I get like somewhat ready like I am now. It really depends, but I would say 90% of the time I have zero makeup on at all, and I love makeup so much. I know y'all know I love makeup so much, but I love to like play with makeup. Like, it's like fun for me. I don't want to take the fun out of it and rush to get ready before we have to leave the house when Parker's trying to leave and running up the stairs. You know, like I want to keep it fun, and right now that's just what it is for me. And the next question is, what is the last thing that made you cry? Now, before a couple of nights ago, it would have been something completely different, but I have to tell you this little story, and I'm pretty sure you'll be glad that you stuck around for it if you did. So my parents got back from the beach. I was dog sitting, house sitting, whatever I told y'all in the last video. He took his motorcycle down on a trailer with them. They came back and he put it in the driveway. I saw it when we pulled in. Shouldn't have been an issue. Everything should have been completely fine. Well, when we were leaving that night, I had done some laundry while we were there, and my mom put it in a couple of bags for us to take home. So Parker was being super crazy, didn't have shoes on or anything, and I didn't want him trying to run outside. So I was like, all right, y'all entertain him in here. I'm gonna walk these like out the back door and around the side of the house. It's not that big of a deal. But it was pitch black right where the trailer was. I had completely forgotten that it was sideways instead of front ways like it normally is. And guys, when I tell you I ate shit, I literally ate ass. Like, bad. Really, really, really bad. I have not cried from like being hurt in years. I didn't even cry when I was in labor with Parker. Like, I have a very high pain tolerance. I do not cry from being hurt, but I caught 3 of my toes, like wrapped them around this wire thing. Oh my God, it was so bad. My entire elbow is like completely gashed open. It looks disgusting. I have like bruises like this all over my body from falling. It was just, I'm way too old to fall like that. I love how this lip gloss just like tops everything so nicely. But yeah, that was the last time that I cried because oh my god, it hurt so bad, and I just like, I could not believe what was going on. So I hope y'all enjoyed this little Q&A. I feel like it's really long and I only answered a few questions because I babble on forever, but I hope you enjoyed. If you do want to see a part 2 where I answer all the rest of your questions, and if you have any more, you could leave them below here. I will definitely do that. And yeah, I think that is it for tonight. I hope you are having a great day, night, evening, weekend, whatever it is, wherever you are, and I will see you in the next one. Bye.